Hey folks, today is Saturday, March 30th. It's 7:29 p.m. and we're gonna look at everything that I've been talking about for the past week. I was able to do a much larger review of the whole market, so I've actually got quite a few stocks added to my daily list. This video might go a little longer than some of the other ones, but I think it's better that it does, if it does, because there's quite a bit to look at. So taking a look at the S&P right now, can't see the futures because they don't open until tomorrow, but this level here has been the main resistance. They were talking about it on CNBC finally, on Friday I think I saw, but with the close on Friday, we've actually now punched through it again, which is good. And I do want to say, based on what I'm seeing from the S&P to the Dow, which doesn't mean much, but the Nasdaq and the Russell, it looks like we might be going higher, and we might actually end up going quite a bit higher, as long as we don't get any particular news or geopolitical event that suddenly shakes the market up. So yeah, we closed above it finally again on Friday, which was good. It's the end of a quarter also, so hopefully Monday we get it open. That's a little better than some of the ones we've been seeing. Nasdaq here, it has its own resistance up there, similar kind of level, and it's been closing above for a while, and it just continued that on Friday. Another excellent thing to see. Dow, you can see symmetrical triangle and moving up towards the highs of the symmetrical triangle again. Very, very good. And the Russell with a bull flag, and it's starting to kind of move back up to those highs again. So I pointed out the Russell before, it's stuck between the 200-day and the 100-day, as well as making this bull flag. And then it also has this other level back here that's been there for quite a while, pretty much all of last year. That level has kind of played into some of the activity, and then now it's back up close to that level again with a bull flag right underneath it. We've got to get over these levels in order to actually have the market break significantly higher. But with all those patterns, like the Dow having a symmetrical triangle, the Russell has a bull flag, the S&P has its own small bull flag that's right at a key resistance level, and then the Nasdaq, which has been consolidating right above this key level. Looks like, and then we have the end of the quarter, which actually ended pretty good, but getting out of that quarter, heading into April, with earnings coming up in April, we might finally see some real upside in this market from this level. So that's what I'm hoping we see. Can't guarantee it. It's just what I hope. It's what I think is going to come, based on where we're consolidating, and now we're kind of trying to punch through, and then the time of year we're going into April. Heading into these earnings, I think we might get some good upside. So anyway, going into my list. Now I said this was quite a bit longer, but so hang with me here. NVDA, again, it's really been forming this little pennant symmetrical triangle pattern really, really nicely. Again, I think it's going to go higher very shortly. It's now started to close up. I had the line a little tighter, and then it closed out of that line, and I just adjusted it to take the high of Friday into account. But I think it's on the verge of moving out of this triangle, basically. Again, I wouldn't give a buy point out of that. The buy point was down here. It was down, if I could stop touching lines, down here was where the buy point was. So I was in there. Now it's come up and started to consolidate. Looks really good. If you're in NVIDIA, I think we're about to see some more upside come. Spotify is now forming a very big kind of falling wedge kind of pattern. Where is this now? I've got so many alerts here. 141.96 is where I've got that right now. And we got some green bars there finally. Hopefully it begins to start building its way up. So again, we might start seeing, so we've got quite a few, like you can see there, quite a few We might start seeing some of the earnings trend kick in, where the earnings are coming up in April. The market knows this, they start buying the stocks up into those earnings, and then we might start seeing some breakouts of these patterns. iRobot, I adjusted this. I had it a bit tighter before that red bar came down. I just adjusted it a bit. Still looks really good. Big falling wedge, bull flag kind of pattern. MELI, this guy, I adjusted the lines a couple times, but it is moving higher. So I think I had a symmetrical triangle that was angled down. This guy broke through and then it closed a little higher still, and now I've got the line up there. So it's a nice ascending triangle. 514.90 is where I would have it. So that thing still looks to me like it really wants to go. That one really wants to move, I think. Tesla, last week I showed the falling wedge. Let me show the whole picture here. You can see Tesla has been in this channel for a long time, and it breaks higher through it, touches the high, works its way to the low, bounces off the low, hits the high, drops back down. You know, it just keeps following those lines. And the pattern I had on it last week with the falling wedge, again, two things: falling wedge to the low of the channel, and it's starting to bounce off. So that would have been a good buy point right there. And now it's gone from, what was that, 273 to 279, so it's about a $6 move already. Looks really good. FANG. I was going to point out PXD. I had removed it from my list, and look at what this thing did. Blasted through the ascending triangle. I don't remember why I removed it. Maybe the earnings and sales weren't quite what I like to see, so I took it out. Or maybe oil was getting less exciting. But FANG is still within the ascending triangle, so if it can get some upside momentum, it could still go. Etsy, I'm still adjusting these lines as it goes, but you can see this upper line looks pretty valid. It keeps touching. Bounce, 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 bounce all the way down. Lower line, I'm just trying to put it wherever I can. I kind of like where it is now because this open fits close to that low, and then it's kind of where it is there. But yeah, Etsy right now is 68.20. But again, because it's a angled line, if it continues to move, then that line's going to drop. That price is going to drop to where it rolls over. So no matter what, if you have that line there, whenever it rolls over that line, hopefully on good volume and price, that would be the buy point. COUP, I still have these lines in place, and it seems to want to keep following them. You know, cut over there, fell back in, touched here, bounced off. These lines seem pretty valid. I'm probably heading towards earnings. This is not valid anymore, but earnings aren't going to be for a while. If they were in March, it's going to be quite a while. But some other stocks might report earnings, and then you know, similar stocks like COUP might start to move, and the COUP might move. So just keep an eye on that channel. Those lines seem to be working. Shopify is one I just found, following that trend line very nicely, and now has this high area. So it'll be 209.60 if it can get over. Looks pretty good. Blue, which is biotech, really nice ascending triangle there. And where would that be? Blue, 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 blue. 160.76 is where I've got it. Basically, you know, break of the high there. Oops. TAL. I noticed a number of the Chinese names are starting to move. This is a Chinese educational company, but some of the other ones like Alibaba started to move, and a lot of them look like they're starting to kind of, you know, perk up a bit. Of course, with China, be careful, because if something comes out about the Chinese negotiations with the tariffs, all of a sudden everything goes in the toilet. But I think a lot of the talk about those negotiations going well, and the Chinese delegates keep coming back to the United States, and then the Americans keep going to China, and talks are ongoing. As long as that keeps going and we don't get some drastic, you know, piece of news, we should keep doing we should keep getting better results from these Chinese names. We should start seeing more upside. So with TAL, I have it at about 36.58. So I like the look of this. I like these educational names when the market starts moving. They seem like they can get really strong at times. And this guy's starting to look pretty good. EOG, another oil name. I keep adjusting this. It's got this huge symmetrical triangle. And I keep adjusting it here and there because it'll come over the line, but then not quite break out, so I adjust the line. I still think it has a really good chance to actually break out of this thing. Just got to keep an eye on it, just keep watching it. And for EOG, it would be 96.57 right now. Again, you know, the price can change as it goes down. And then Paylocity is another one I found just today. And that's got a really nice symmetrical triangle going. Paylocity would be basically at 90. This line looks really nice. It's touched. Looks really good. Right around 90. Again, you want to see good price action and volume as they go through. But yeah, that's quite a few. So yeah, that's it. My next video should be Tuesday. Actually, it'll be Monday night. I'm trying to get these done at night now for the next day. So hopefully Monday night. And I'll see you then.